KUAM FM Hagåtña, Guam. You're listening to The Link with Chris and Sabrina on Breeze 93.9.
Rosinya uli di sombranzelten mag et zu ita saluda antes diu hum niga Radzaudzen malak estrezas durante todo el memu a nogi distancia como kupugi palu zaniman malak guafi Ikonuna sugi airi prebatu la noci nai banderata gaigi pues atan fanni bandera kau Esta pagua pumalapa Giluk tanu man libri Sentami ti man ko badi
Time to know nyagi toru iluga Paraiona Parai gloria a big isla sen Paraiona Parai gloria a big
Jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bell ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell chime and jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to skank the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mixing the mingle and the jingling beat. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. Jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell chime and jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to skank the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mixing the mingle and the jingling beat. That's the Jingle Bell. That's the Jingle Bell. That's the Jingle Bell Rock.
Oh man, good morning Guam time right now, 6:11 in the morning, and we're back on this Christmas Eve.
Oh my god.
And Vic hit us with the jazz hands or spirit fingers. I never knew which one was which.
Spirit fingers?
What are spirit? I had jazz hands. Yeah.
Spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers, right? Yeah, it's Christmas, drop,
Yeah, it's from
sprinkle
that,
some spirits.
the cheerleading movie. Spirit fingers. No?
Get it on, or what was it?
Bring it
I don't
on?
think it's
Bring it
bring it
on.
on. Not get it on.
Wrong
No,
movie,
no,
Jace.
no.
Wrong movie, Jace.
I don't know what you're watching.
Wow, Jason, yeah. Jason downloaded the wrong one.
Well, that was that other streaming service.
Okay, Jace.
Okay, wait. I just want to
All
say.
right,
since-
we're off to a
since
good
Vic-
start. Okay,
Good
great.
morning, guys.
Okay, I got two things I want to start with, right? We got this wonderful comment from Scott C. Thompson. Scott, half a day. And he goes, Merry Christmas to Guam and the Northern Marianas. It's still Wednesday on the 23rd here, Eastern time in North Carolina. And he goes, I really want to visit your beautiful islands. Well, we would love to have you out here, Scott.
Come through,
So-
come
Well,
through.
I need to
Yeah,
visit
so-
North Carolina again. My mom's originally from North Carolina, so I've got roots there.
Nice.
No, okay, I also want to share something, and I'm going to need DJ Joser's help with this. There was a certain TikTok posted by one of us here.
Oh.
And this is actually Vic, you guys. And there's nothing like being home for Christmas, right? And so
Yeah.
here's Vic doing a duet on TikTok, which is basically when you shoot a video of yourself going to another one. And Vic is getting all teary-eyed watching the holiday display in Yap State.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, man, it was just crazy to see. We never had something like that before. I came to Guam and we have the light shows everywhere. GVB sets up their light show. The museum does theirs. So to see something like that, back home, it's just it really brings tears to my eyes because and then just recently people have been going there to take pictures. So I'm like, wow, really? And all of that was being done by just one person who just decided to gather all the lights he can. And apparently, some of the stores back in Yap donated lights and stuff and helped them set up the whole museum area. So that's where all the men's houses are, the 3 men's houses at the Yap Museum. So he pretty much decorated that whole area and put little spots for people to go and take pictures. So it really reminds me of what we do here in Guam, where we go take pictures at those lighting scenes. That's exactly what it was, and it's back home. And I've never seen, growing up, that was never a thing. So this is crazy to see.
Yeah, I was on TikTok last night and I actually came across this. I'm like, hey, Vic posted a video, and you can see his reaction on the left as the Yap State Christmas display plays on the right. And yeah, I mean, it's so genuine, and it's like, what? There's nothing like, the feeling you get of home, and especially like during the holidays. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it right now on Facebook, but Vic's a little bit, misty-eyed right now.
Yeah, usually I was supposed
That was
to.
a great video, bro.
Thank you. You know, it's usually this
Well,
time.
we've seen this year with our submissions of the decorations that people have really stepped it up. And so, you know, Vic, you know, Yap, Guam, everyone has had such a tough year, man. People are exhausted. We're tired of this. So I think this Christmas, we kind of go a little bit, you know, above and beyond just to bring that spirit, that feeling of, you know, remembering those happy, fun Christmases before. And so there's a lot of emotion out there, man. And it's nice to see everybody really getting into the holidays this year.
Okay, we got some shout outs to get to, guys, and they're coming in fast and furious, so I want to make sure I don't miss any. Walter Gofigan, Feliz Navidad and Viva Año Nuevo. Viva! Half a day, Walter. Thank you for the love. Brown Sugar Tea is saying, dance, Vic. That's a request from Long Beach, dude. You gotta show up now.
I got to. When we go on break or something, we'll play that jam. I'll just do my thing.
Oh, okay, that's a promise. Okay,
Yeah, we gotta play Caesar's.
Oh
song.
yeah,
There you go.
That's
and you know, we appreciate that you guys love Cesar Medina's song so much yesterday. Both times when we played it, we only planned on playing it once, but so nice we had to play it twice, as we say. George A. Cruz Jr. Hafane, good morning, KUM team. Good morning and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Oh, Lolita Salas.
That's my mom.
Yep.
Hi, Mom.
Merry Christmas, Jace, Bree, Chris, Joser, Vic, Andy, and the Link family. Please do a shout. Ah! Oh wait, please do a shout out. So
Yeah, that's what she.
Wrong
that's what
yeah.
she meant.
Shout out, yeah, half a day, Auntie. We wish you Merry
Oh,
Christmas.
happy birthday to my cousin Curtis Williams. He's in Oklahoma.
happy birthday.
So happy birthday, Kurt.
Okay, and Oklahoma's football team is quite good.
Yes.
Yeah, as you are certainly to point out.
I think it's Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, and who are they playing? They're
I don't know. I
It's-
just saw Cotton Bowl and I was like, okay, another one to win. All right.
yeah, it's somebody good.
He's like, oh, it's one of those. We got this.
Ken Guerrero, the first
There's
person to use the
300 bowl
Santa
games,
emoji.
so,
Thank you,
it's-
Ken. Ken's a top fan of ours. Half a day to you and your family, Ken. Nancy J. Campbell. Melekilikimaka from Hilo, Hawaii. Your time zone booking. Yeah, that's right. So Hawaii is
Melekilimaka.
4 hours ahead, a day behind. If you guys ever want to figure out the time difference between us and our friends in Hawaii.
Yeah, we got a former reporter over there, over in Hawaii.
Several,
Doing a really fine job up there.
Well, which
Lum.
one?
Stephanie Lum.
Yeah, there's Stephanie Lum. There's also now Senator Glenn Wakai.
Yeah.
Yeah, is doing great things. Oh, hey, Tyler.
I know.
Tyler's up right now.
Morning
Good
time.
morning, Ty.
Oh, okay, and
Up
she's got
bright and early.
Okay,
I know.
well, Ty is a slamming reporter right now because she's like, I don't know if it's letting the cat out of the bag, but KUM's got a surprise this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Just hope we don't make too big fools of ourselves. So, you guys, okay. And as Bree said yesterday, today's kind of like a show on a diet. We're gonna play Christmas music for you guys. Normally we're on the air from 6 to 10. Today's 6 to 8. Because admittedly, some of us got Christmas shopping or just like lawns to mow or stuff like that. So we'll only be on till 8 o'clock. So we got a 2-hour show today, but we got something really special for you coming up later. We also have a guest. I should say guests in the room. Joser, if you would please. We have Bree's famous Russian tea cakes
They're not famous.
from yesterday. They were
Oh,
internet
yes.
famous yesterday. People were
They're
saying
loving the video.
There they are. Oh, yeah.
It's good
Wait,
to
can we
see
take the
it.
cover off that, Bree?
Oh, sure.
Those are beautiful.
And I told Joe, this is not for show, because if it was for show, I would have made it a little bit nice, made the presentation, but, since Jason's calling me out, okay.
Oh, those are not, okay.
I think, they're also called snowballs. I saw Payless made the same thing. I was like, oh, okay.
No, okay. We're going to fight now because snowballs are the things with the coconut
The
on the
Hostess.
outside and the
Yeah,
host.
mhm.
Okay, snowballs are, in my world, snowballs are only one thing.
And we're using a mic named Snowball.
Oh, there, and we got a snowball mic.
It matches. Got to coordinate. you
Yeah.
know?
Also, Mr. Wheeler, you've got some Christmas tech that you are rocking this morning, sir.
Oh yeah, I've got my hat that the batteries are still good, but I don't know for how long. So I'm gonna use them sparingly today on the show.
Nice.
That's nice, man.
I'm just conserving power. I might have to load shed halfway through the show.
Well, let's get into the news because we do have an abbreviated show, and we want to make sure we get all of our guests into our program. And also, like Tyler was mentioning in the stream, we do have a special treat for you, so we hope you enjoy that. They've been out responding to crimes and exposing themselves to the community throughout the pandemic, but according to Guam Police Department Chief Stephen Ignacio, law enforcement hasn't been placed on the list to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. This while Guam Fire has more than 100 personnel who've been given the shot. Here's Adriana Cotero and Jonah Goncharfris.
Guam Police Department Chief Stephen Ignacio is making calls to Department of Public Health Director Art San Augustine.
I found out that we're not yet on the list to receive the vaccine. I did express my concerns with Mr. San Augustine.
Ignacio is concerned for his staff. He says as first responders, officers are risking their lives day in and day out to deal with the unknowns.
The officers, I think, should be prioritized. That we go out there. We have had positives in our department through exposure to the work that we've done in conjunction with the public health department.
Ignacio says GPD officers have tested positive due to exposure at the quarantine and isolation facilities. Additionally, officers are responding to known COVID-19 patient calls from those who lose their battle to the virus at home.
Because they did not pass away in a hospital setting, then we now have to conduct a death investigation. And so we've responded to actual known positive COVID patients who died, and we have to go down there, process the scene like any other death case.
While Ignacio presses for GPD to be next in line for the vaccine, he says the decision is ultimately made by the Vaccine and Antiviral Prioritization Policy Committee, or the VAPPC. There are roughly 60 police officers, including Ignacio, who are willing to get vaccinated.
I'm hoping that, through my conversation with Mr. San Augustine, that we can elevate the concern.
According to Battalion Chief Ed Chaco, who is also the infection control officer for the Guam Fire Department, 171 came forward willingly to get the vaccine. This includes emergency dispatchers, the COVID transport units, ambulance, rescue, engine, advanced life support, decontamination units, and office personnel. Of the personnel that received the vaccinations at Okadu High School over the course of 4 days, Chief Chaco says no adverse reactions were reported. However, some did experience the expected side effects.
3 complained of headaches. We had 1 that reported fever. 4 people reported that they had chills. 2 stated they had body aches. 3 fatigue. 2 with abdominal issues, and we had 2 that had localized rash, but it was just confined to a specific small area. But other than that, there was no adverse or grave side effects.
And even though many of them availed of the vaccination, Chief Chaco says GFD will continue with the enforcement of infection control practices. He adds having the vaccine makes them feel a little more confident, knowing that their immune system is stronger. For the public, Chief Chaco makes a plea for them to stay the course and continue wearing their masks, practicing social distancing and hand hygiene. And for those on the fence about getting the vaccine,
whenever I go to a fire station or a dispatch center where there's been exposure issue, of all the pillars of well-being, your social, your spiritual, your physical, and your psychological, the psychological pillar gets hit the most. There's questions that loom like, is my family safe? Did I contract the virus? Is it too late? Where am I going to stay? How am I going to protect my family? So imagine following the infection control practices, getting vaccinated. Imagine how much at peace your mind would be if you were told that you came into contact with somebody that was positive.
reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jonah Goncharfris.
Joan and Adriana. As for the latest numbers, out of 469 tests performed Tuesday, 19 returned positive for COVID. 12 were identified through contact tracing, and 2 cases reported recent travel history and were identified in quarantine. Guam's current COVID case count is 7,257 cases of COVID, with 121 deaths, 429 active cases, and more than 6,700 recoveries. 21 people are hospitalized, 7 receiving ICU level of care, and 3 are on ventilators. Guam's CAR score is 1.5. And with information on the governor's latest executive order and other headlines, here's Tyler Massinoni.
Hafaday, good morning, everyone. I'm Tyler Matinani with your headlines here on The Link. There will be a slight easing of the restrictions for social gatherings effective today and for eating and drinking establishments by Saturday. According to a new executive order by Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, effective at 8 a.m. on Christmas Eve, the number of persons who are not from a single household that will be allowed to congregate will be increased to 15. The order also states that effective at 8 a.m. Saturday, indoor dining for eating and drinking establishments will be allowed for up to 25% of capacity. There will be a limit, though, of 6 persons seated together with 6 feet of distance between tables. All prior orders are still in effect, and Guam will remain in pandemic condition of readiness 1 under a safer at home advisory. In Superior Court, a grand jury indictment comes down on 19-year-old Jeremy Janelle Alvarez, charging him with murder. He is accused for the death of 77-year-old Sucha Park Allen. The incident occurred on December 8th. Allen was found in a Sinahanya residence face down on the floor with blood and a hammer near her head. According to court documents, the teenager allegedly wanted Xanax from Allen, but in return, she touched him inappropriately. Documents state Alvarez struck the elderly woman numerous times with a hammer. He also faces both aggravated murder and assault felony charges with a special allegation attached for possession or use of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony. Alvarez is summoned to appear before Magistrates Judge Jonathan Kwan on December 30th at 2 p.m. The four officers involved in the November 3rd deadly shooting are back in uniform. According to Guam Police Department Chief Steve Ignacio, the officers returned back to work because of personnel rules. Ignacio says their maximum amount of administrative leave days has been exhausted and they are now back on duty. As we reported last month, GPD responded to a theft complaint at a Tamuning apartment complex. At the scene, driver Xavier Tatautau and a female passenger were parked in a car. Tatautau struck a cop car, resulting in officers opening fire. Tatautau was fatally shot. The Office of the Attorney General is leading the investigation. Just 2 weeks ago, the OAG reported the autopsy of Tatautau was completed. Senators held a brief session Wednesday to vote and pass 4 bills. But even though there's just about a week left in the year, it wasn't the final gathering of the lame duck 35th Guam legislature. Our Nestor Lecanto reports.
Senators passed the 4 bills in pretty quick order. They include a measure by Senator Kelly Marsh Taitano to celebrate the 2019 Whanogi March for Chamorro self-determination on September 2nd of each year. They also passed Senator Amanda Shelton's bill to authorize tax credits for certain medical equipment at GMH and another Shelton measure to establish a senior citizens housing task force. Finally, they also said yes to Senator Regine Bisco-Lee's bill to also impanel a task force, this one to explore the feasibility of creating a groundwater conservation area on select Gov Guam property over the Northern Lens Aquifer. But it won't be the last time this particular group gets together. Vice Speaker Talina Nelson.
I'd like to make a motion that we recess till December 30th to entertain anything pending before we close out this term at 10 a.m.
At 10
Thank you,
a.m.
Madam Speaker.
On that motion, we will recess till December 30th at 10 a.m.
Exactly what the pending issues are was not discussed. The Democrats, who lost 2 seats in the November general election, still hang on to a slim 8-7 majority, but have not yet announced the incoming leadership positions. They are typically decided ahead of the official swearing in of the new legislature, which is set for January 4th. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
That's the news for now. We'll see you all at 6 tonight on Primetime.
Tyler, the man accused for the deadly stabbing of Arthur Walcook remains on the loose. Guam Police Department spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapau says they are following up on several leads in the ongoing search for Renato Chitaro. On Tuesday, GPD Chief Stephen Ignacio held an emergency press conference at headquarters in Tidzin, announcing the aggravated assault was upgraded to a death investigation. The incident occurred on December 8th outside an apartment complex in Tamuning. Chitaro is the prime suspect and has a lengthy criminal history dating back to 2013. GPD urges the community not to approach him. He is considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Chitaro, contact GPD at 472-8911 or call 899-0566. That number again is 899-0566. The newly passed COVID relief package may be in jeopardy. President Trump is suggesting he may not sign the bipartisan bill that provides unemployment benefits and stimulus checks to struggling Americans because he says it doesn't provide enough relief. Bafta Imam reports from the White House.
And to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package.
In a surprise move, President Trump last night demanded Congress revise the $900 billion COVID relief legislation it recently passed.
I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple.
It was mostly Republicans, not Democrats, who opposed higher stimulus payments. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi tweeted last night, "At last, the president has agreed to $2,000. Democrats are ready to bring this to the floor." But other lawmakers expressed concern. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham tweeted, "The COVID-19 package, while imperfect, will save jobs and lives." Democrat Mark Warner asked, "Does the president realize that unemployment benefits expire the day after Christmas?" Many struggling Americans say they will take what they can get.
600 is 600. It's better than not having anything at all.
The president didn't go so far as to threaten to veto the mammoth bill, and both houses passed the measure by large enough margins that they could override a veto if he does. President-elect Joe Biden called the bipartisan legislation a first step.
Like all compromises, it's far from perfect, but it does provide vital relief at a critical moment.
The president-elect formally introduces Connecticut's Education Commissioner Miguel Cardona as his nominee for Education Secretary today. Bafta Imam, CBS News, the White House.
And finally, celebrate the holidays with KUAM. Join us on Christmas Eve or tonight for KUAM's Christmas Wish with the Guam Department of Education's Gifted and Talented Education Program. The show is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. on KUAM TV8 and streaming live on Facebook. Then on Christmas night tomorrow, we continue our celebration with a virtual dance experience in partnership with the Guam Allied Dance Force. We are partnering to raise money for the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. That is 6:30 Christmas evening only on KUAM TV8. And that's your news. Stay tuned to the link for more.
Catch the holiday soundtrack starting December 1st through January 5th. You'll be treated to an all-day festive playlist only on Breeze 93.9 FM. Also streaming on KUAM.com and the KUAM mobile app. Let's spread joy and holiday cheer this season. Holiday soundtrack is brought to you by Domino's. Visit Domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering.
Hafaday, I'm Peter Santos.
And I'm Tyler Matinani.
Celebrate the holidays with KUAM.
Join us on Christmas Eve for KUAM's Christmas Wish with the Guam Department of Education's Gifted and Talented Education Program.
Don't miss the show scheduled for 6:30 p.m. on December 24th on KUAM TV8 and streaming live on Facebook.
Then on Christmas night, we continue our celebration with a virtual dance experience in partnership with the Guam Allied Dance Force.
We're partnering to raise money for the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. That's 6:30 p.m. on Christmas evening only on KUAM TV8.
It's going to be a great celebration of Christmas with music and dance, and we hope to see you there.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the CAR score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the CAR score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this.
It takes all of us to protect Guam. Join the Guam Visitors Bureau in our social media campaign series aimed to protect our island and each other in this COVID-19 era. Participate in the Protect Guam movement by wearing your mask, showcasing Guam's heroes, staying active, and downloading the Guam COVID Alert app. Post and share your content with us. Use the hashtag ProtectGuam, and you could win $100. It's that simple. Check out visitguam.com for details. Let's reclaim our lives, our economy, and our tourism industry.
You're watching The Link with Chris and Sabrina on TV 11, but don't leave yet because we're coming up next on CBS This Morning.
We got your 6.
At 6 a.m. with The Link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6.
Feliz Navidad, 6:36 in the morning, and we are back with the show. Remember, the show probably brought to you by Calvos Enterprises and I-Teen-E. We're back with your hosts, Sabrina Salas, Matt Tinani, Andy Wheeler in the Zoom room, Jason Salas, Joe Sir, myself, Victorious, and we are back to the show. Good morning and happy Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve. Is that how you say it?
Christmas Eve.
Merry
I
Christmas
guess
Eve.
You could say whatever you want to say. Vic. We are having a virtual Christmas party here on the link. And joining us in the party is the Senior Vice President, Chief Communications and Corporate Social Responsibility Officer for the Bank of Guam, Jackie Murati. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning to everyone. Sabrina, Jason, Andy, and Vic, it's really great to see you. Happy, happy, happy Christmas Eve. Good
morning.
Good morning.
And, you know, we brought you on because the Bank of Guam, you know, you guys have this special holiday tradition, and this is the holiday party edition of The Link. And we just wanted to celebrate, you know, what you guys are doing, giving back to the community, to such wonderful organizations. And I guess I'm just going to throw it over to you and talk about this tradition that you guys have been doing for the past 3 years.
Thank you, Bree. Yes, really it's about the nonprofits. We're happy to support, but it's all about what they do and what they do to lift our community up. About 3 years ago or so, we began our sustainability journey. And one of the things that was really obvious to us was, particularly sometimes during the holidays, there's just an immense offering of so many gifts that oftentimes end up either staying under the tree or staying under the tree. And so what we decided to do 3 years ago was to poll our employees and say, you know, we have it, rather than spending money on corporate gifts, we'd like to have you select 5 nonprofits you believe merit our attention and our support. And so for the last 3 years, that's what's been happening. And they've been a myriad of different causes. And, you know, this year was clearly one where we looked specifically to the local nonprofits who continue to service our community through the most challenging and difficult times. And I'm so glad when I saw the final 5, I was just thrilled to see the list because these nonprofits have remained serving our community. And again, you know, while it's really, thank you for acknowledging what we do, but it's really an acknowledgement of what they do.
Yeah.
And every time.
Hey, Jackie,
yes.
Sorry. You mentioned it there. Usually, you know, corporate headquarters will make some donation to a charity, and the employees, you know, have no say in it. How important was it for you guys to get your employees involved and really put a poll to them?
Great question, Andy. Of course, this was really important, and more we're asking our employees, what do you think? Where do you want us to put our resources? And it's not just about money, but it's also about how do we volunteer our efforts, and anything that we can do to help the nonprofits. Because again, it's about, yes, giving our employees a voice, but more importantly, who they think and who they've seen out in the community, and critically important. Our employees' voices have always been important, and they continue to grow in importance.
Right.
Thank you.
And these organizations that you selected, I know we have partnered with them in many different ways throughout the past several years. And let's just start with Harvest House and how the contributions they give back to the community.
Constantly. And we've also had a number of drives which have benefited these nonprofits, from school supplies and backpacks to Harvest House. And, you know, Bethany and her team are just so amazing because their hearts are open no matter what time, no matter who calls. They just, you know, she just welcomes whoever needs help and support. So certainly Harvest House with the foster children and her growing family. They're just an amazing blessing for us all.
Mm-hmm. We've got Guam Animals in Need. I know this is an organization that's very close to Andy, as well as Chris Barnett.
Yep.
as well as to me. You'll remember as well that Cyrus earlier on put together a volunteer group who was sewing masks.
Mm-hmm.
And so we also partnered with them when they were doing that. But, you know, we can never forget our furry friends, because particularly now they give us so much love, unconditional love. And sorry, I lost my pet a couple of months ago. And so I mean, you guys know, okay? And so they just give us unconditional love and provide so much to our lives. And they've continued to help. As a matter of fact, I'm looking to get someone, you know, so.
Sanctuary, with Victor Camacho and his crew, we've had them on too as well. And I know he was talking about they've continued to stay open, helping our children, and especially with the teenagers.
Nonstop, they've stayed open in and through all of these challenges, to help those who really need support and help when it might not be forthcoming. I think when the community is faced with, you know, challenges of inadequate or not at all any income, and at the same time our children are being faced with remote learning and frankly remote friends relationship, they are really at risk and just need a lot of support from all of us, because their long-term health, mental, physical, spiritual, is critical to our future.
Victims advocates reaching out.
Vero.
Yes.
Non-stop as well. They never stopped answering their phones. And as we've had many conversations with them, and in as much as they may have seen a reduction in calls, a lot of it is because the victim and the abuser are in the same home oftentimes, and the victim is unable to leave.
Yeah.
So definitely a need, and it's the victim and the children, and so that need is greater now more than ever. These nonprofits just have the biggest heart.
Yeah.
They don't say no. They stay open no matter what, and I'm so pleased that our employees were able to voice that.
Manyetlu, this is an organization, Vic, very close to you, and you know, with the podcast that you've been doing weekly.
Yeah, and then and if you guys want to watch it, I did a podcast with Jackie where we had to edit it. I had to cut it down to 30 for TV reasons, but the original we talked on and on. There's so many awesome things that the Bank of Guam is doing. And I told Jackie, it really goes they go above and beyond. She told me the history of how the Bank of Guam was going into the FSM, and how the decision and it went into that, and how they it was a hard decision to make, that they could at one point would lose money, but Mr. Leon Guerrero says, like, no, we have to do this. He made the decision to reach out to the islands, and we did. And look at us today. Like if my parents need money right now, I can just on my phone just transfer money to them. So it's such an awesome thing that they did. And then when you partnered in partnership with Manielu, and when I saw them on the list, it really, it was really something to me. And I was like, wow, thank you guys so much, because they do a lot too in our community, where when it comes to translations and when it comes to putting out information out there to the people to really, get them to know what's happening. So it's a beautiful thing to you guys included them to the list.
Yeah. Sam Titano her and her team have been relentless. They have been resilient. They have been in the community nonstop. We've had a couple of drives for them as well. Not only PPEs, but also we did a book drive for them, because they have this small van that they go into the community, deep into the neighborhoods that many of us don't go into generally, that we've seen. And they're there to offer assistance and help and just presence. Manielu is an amazing, amazing group. We can't thank all of these 5, enough for above all, their selflessness. I mean, to go and do this every single day, nonstop, to answer the phone call, to open their doors, never to say no. I mean, those are the hallmarks of local nonprofits that we need to support and need to keep going, particularly as the days roll by into 2021.
Right. And wow,
So Jackie, I hate to put you on the spot, but which charity did you vote for?
Here was the thing: we had 5, and again, because I know them really well, those okay. I know them, and I know them well, and I know very closely what they do regularly, and I see where they are, and it's not, about the photo ops or anything like that. It's what they do every day, whether or not there's a photo op or not. I mean, they just go in and they do the work, and they're there to help the community. How can you say no to those 5? I mean, there are many more. There are many more.
I agree. In this business, we've had the chance to work with all of these charities, whether interviewing them on the show or being out there, bringing a story out. And I have a gained cat. He's asleep right now, so he's not going to be on the show. And so they all kind of a little special to me. So the fact that you're able to give $5,000 to each one is outstanding.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks to our leadership, Ken Cook, Maria Leon Guerrero, for supporting us, because this is the time that we know it's not about the bank. It's about what our nonprofits do for our community, and that's where they need help. And any other organization, company, individual who wants to donate to them, I'll ask on their behalf. How's that?
Well, thank you, Jackie, for coming on.
Viva Bank of Guam!
Viva!
Viva Bank of Guam!
Viva! Can I say something,
yes,
please? It's really important because you all, as the media, you have also been there nonstop. There have been so many issues, because I follow you daily, that you have handled in a very professional, even-handed way, with much grace, and I'm sure restraint. And
she knows me so well.
And I really salute you and the team, and Marie and her team, for constantly keeping all of us informed, grounded, and balanced. I think that's really important. So thank you to all of you for what you do throughout all of these days. You all deserve your own award and recognition for doing this.
Oh man, Jackie.
I think she just made
First informers.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need you.
Well, thank you, Jackie. Again, Merry Christmas to you and your family, and everybody over at the Bank of Guam.
Thank you so much for having me on. Really appreciate it, and thanks to everyone in the community who continues to uplift everyone else. Take care.
Take care. Stay safe.
Bye, Jackie.
Be safe.
Be safe.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
Bye. And we are going to go to a break, but first we have a Cover Me performance, a Christmas performance. It's with Ernest DeChoco. He runs the GATE program for the Guam Department of Education. Cover Me is sponsored by Burger King. And again, we're partnered with GATE to put on this special Christmas Eve performance this evening.
night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till He appeared and the soul felt His word. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ is born, oh, night divine, oh, night divine. Chains shall He break, for the slave is our brother, and in His name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, let all within us praise His holy name. Christ is our Lord, that ever praise we. Noel,
Catch the holiday soundtrack starting December 1st through January 5th. You'll be treated to an all-day festive playlist only on Breeze 93.9 FM. Also streaming on KUAM.com and the KUAM mobile app. Let's spread joy and holiday cheer this season. Holiday soundtrack is brought to you by Domino's. Visit Domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering.
Hafa Adai, I'm Peter Santos.
And I'm Tyler Matinani.
Celebrate the holidays with KUAM.
Join us on Christmas Eve for KUAM's Christmas Wish with the Guam Department of Education's Gifted and Talented Education Program.
Don't miss the show scheduled for 6:30 p.m. on December 24th on KUAM TV 8 and streaming live on Facebook.
Then on Christmas night, we continue our celebration with a virtual dance experience in partnership with the Guam Allied Dance Force.
We're partnering to raise money for the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. That's 6:30 p.m. on Christmas evening only on KUAM TV 8.
It's going to be a great celebration of Christmas with music and dance, and we hope to see you there.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Let's get merry during the most wonderful time of the year by making spirits bright. KUAM and its community partners, McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, and the Guam Museum want to highlight your decorations and lights by flooding the social media pages of KUAM with your videos and photos. Finish your holiday setup, snap a few shots or video of your delightful display, and send it to us through social media or email them to promotions@KUAM.com. Check out our posts every Friday or tune in to KUAM News Weekend Edition for a special montage of the submissions certain to be making spirits bright with every broadcast. Warmest holiday wishes from McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, the Guam Museum, and KUAM Communications. Breaking news! This just in, Santa has a combined $4,000 to give away for Guam's best outdoor holiday display. Submit your outdoor display for a chance to win cash prizes. All submissions will be posted on our Facebook page, and the top 10 most liked pictures or videos wins a special cash prize to make your season even brighter. Visit KUAM.com for more details. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
You're watching The Link with Chris and Sabrina on TV 11. Stick around because we're next on CBS This Morning.
We got your 6.
At 6 a.m. with The Link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6.
In the Zoom room with our guests, also Jason Solid's here and Joe Sir. We're back to another one.
Right, and it is our virtual Christmas party here on The Link, and we wanted to bring in public health because these guys have been working so hard throughout the year, and they're continuing to work even today. So thank you guys. We've got in the Zoom room Annette Uggan and Public Health Director Artson Augustine. Merry Christmas to you guys. Thank you guys for coming on to the show. We brought you on because we wanted to get, just the very latest. You guys had the vaccination clinic. You had mass testing this week. So if you could, let's just start with you, Art. How are you feeling? Because you were one of the first to join the vaccination.
Yes, first of all, thank you for having us this morning, and Merry Christmas to your team as well from Public Health and Social Services. In terms of how I'm feeling this morning, very encouraged and continue being very hopeful. Yes, I was one of the first 3 from Public Health to be given the vaccine, and we're really hoping that the community will come forth as they're given the opportunity to also be vaccinated, so that we're just one step closer to containing, controlling, and really moving to some semblance of normalcy in the coming months.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have all the vaccines yet, of course, as everyone perhaps already knows that. Our first apportionment of vaccines from Pfizer did arrive. We received 3 boxes, 11,700 so far.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be able for Public Health to immunize 5,850 Guam residents. Of course, in line with our CDC guidelines, which the Vaccination and Antiviral Prioritization Planning Committee, excuse me, which we just now refer to as a Vaccination Committee, is now going to be using to determine the next group of individuals on Guam that will be offered the vaccine. In terms of what we've done so far, we vaccinated 2,152, along with Annette and the other members of our team. We had our healthcare this past Tuesday. We really gave a 4th-day opportunity for healthcare providers. And from that was kind of our cutoff date. Now, when I say cutoff, that just means that allows us now to move to the next group, which we did too in terms of 1A. We went to our elderly population in assisted or long-term care settings. And so we're looking at St. Dominic's, the Mercy Care Center and Convent, and those types of settings. And so we've got that started yesterday. And what we wanted to do was complete as much as possible 1A, and our healthcare in 1A also includes GRMC and GMHA, and that makes up part of the 2152 or 2,152 individuals on Guam that have received the vaccine. By completing or moving from 1A, we're able to move on to 1B, and so we're moving into 1B, which is our population of Guam residents, 75 years of age and older, and we'll be starting that vaccine clinic on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but starting Monday at the Okadu High School. And our time is from 9 to 3. We also have collaborated this Tuesday with the Mayor's Council of Guam. They are engaged, and they are the registration sites for their residents. Their respective residents from the varying villages can register with the Mayor's Council of Guam. With the respective mayor at their village, and that list will be provided to Public Health. And that will be our registration for our Manamko, for our elderly, 75 years of age and older.
Mm-hmm. You
And
said
I'm sure Annette has more information and perhaps other points, but that's pretty a quick overview of where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm. You said the congregate settings for the elderly. So you guys did go out to St. Dominic's, just for clarification.
Yes, St. Dominic's was offered the opportunity to be given it to their residents and their staff. And yesterday, 67 were given the vaccine, received the vaccine, 27 of their 40 residents. And again, this is all voluntary. So I'm working with Sister Manalato. She was surveying her 40 residents who would be willing. And so 27 were given the vaccine yesterday and 40 of their healthcare workers.
Were there any adverse actions reported?
Yesterday, no. There were no adverse actions reported. I'm not sure if Annette got anything after the report was provided to me, but Annette, did you get anything on adverse from yesterday? I didn't get any reports of any adverse action from yesterday.
Mm-hmm. I did want to ask, since we did have Gura on yesterday, Ray Tapasnia, are there any plans to vaccinate the residents over at Gumamami?
In terms of perhaps Guma Tranquilidad.
I'm sorry, not Gumamami, Guma Tranquilidad, you're right.
No. I'm tracking you. Yes, because Guma Tranquilidad is another elderly congregate setting. So Guma Tranquilidad and also the Gura 82 projects are in discussion with public health team to also assess the possibility of offering the vaccines to that population as well.
Mm-hmm. And so
that definitely is on the list of considerations, given there are seniors there as well. And so we're looking at that congregate setting. We just want to be sure that it also has an assisted living and a long-term care characteristic so that, qualify under the 1A. But we're definitely looking at that.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned registering with village mayors. Can they do that over the phone, or do the Manamkos have to go physically to their mayor's office to register?
Yeah, the mayors, when I spoke with them, I've got some feedback is that they're going actually through the list of their village residents, and they're also identifying through that list, and they're reaching out to them. But definitely, you can call into the mayor's office. I spoke to a few individuals who actually shared that they did contact the mayor registered their parents, and so they seem to be taking walk-ins and reaching out and also listening to phone calls. So I want to thank the mayors who were at the meeting, but also for being very collaborative and being our partner in this effort.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How many, do you have a rough estimate on how many Manamko?
The data for a little over 75 years of age and older. But as I was reading that was reported, and some of the mayors who are reaching out, I think one said they have, 110 residents they've identified in their village who are 75 years of age and older, and about 31 agreed to be vaccinated. Some are basically saying, no, not at this time. One reported feedback I received is waiting for Moderna. So again, even with our healthcare, some have agreed. Some of the healthcare, as we all know, there's going to be some that are not willing yet to take it. Some are wanting to wait until some of us have taken the second dose and seeing if there's any further adverse reactions after the second. So some people are waiting and just to see how things roll out and adverse.
Okay, Art, I had a question. When, I know it's a little bit down the line, but when we do get to vaccinating the general public, is that going to be just a, hey, we're open, first come, first serve, or are you going to go alphabetically, or is there a system in place to kind of go through the numbers? How is that going to work?
When we get to the general public, a couple of things are going to happen. We do have enrolled providers. I believe Annette, we can add more to this. There's about 22 enrolled providers. And so they too will be able to receive the vaccine at their location and administer to their patients. And public health will also operate mass vaccination clinics. Once it's open to general public, it's my understanding at this time. And again, things may change as we recently received guidance on 1B from the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, ACIP. Just this week, as an example, we received a new definition, new category for 1B. 1B was our workers, and then just this week, we received email, and 1B is now the elderly and our essential workers, 75 years of age and older. So the ACIP is redefining the recommendations, updating those recommendations, and we'll follow those. The committee also in Guam, the vaccination committee, will also be the ones to help determine the prioritization. In terms of the mass, my sense, it's going to be basically, we'll let people know how many can come in per day. We may actually do a pre-registration or a walk-in. But like we've done in mass testing, if we say we can do 400 per day, of course, we'll monitor the number of folks in line and let people know that you're number 400. And so at this point, if we could ask you to return back tomorrow. So we don't want people standing in line for hours only not to get the vaccine. Right? But
Yeah, we don't want people lining up and then, oh, sorry, we're out, come back, some other day and try your luck. So yeah, it's just, a lot of people are in the general public that want to get vaccinated are just wondering, I know I have to wait my turn, but when is that going to be and how's it going to work?
Right. And that is a good question. And part of that in our response, simply based on the number of vaccines we get on Guam, we have our full December apportionment off the Pfizer vaccine at 11,700. We're still waiting on our Moderna to arrive this month. We received confirmation. I received email confirmation copy this morning that Moderna is on its way, but we don't actually have the exact arrival date just yet. We're expecting it in the coming days. So.
Okay. And I had one more question. Have you guys seen an increase in accidents from sweet wrapping paper lightsaber accidents? Because I finished wrapping all my paper and I have this sweet lightsaber. No, I just want to be safe.
No, I actually have not seen an increase in that. But,
okay, good.
Thank
you
for asking.
All right, no problem. I just want to get the info.
Thank you.
Okay. So Art, we had GPD. We talked to the police chief earlier this week during that press conference, and one of the reporters, I think it was Kenson Nicholas, actually from KUAM, he had asked the chief about vaccinations within GPD, and the chief was talking about how he had a conversation with you, actually, just minutes before that press conference, about trying to move up police officers in the priority. Where are we with that?
Well, my position at this point, or at least the plan at this point, is that we'll have another vaccination committee meeting on Monday, and we'll again ask the committee to help identify, or basically work their job, and part of my job on the committee is really to facilitate and make a decision as to the ranking of the next essential group for essential healthcare workers, and it's the police department is up there. We've got consideration for the individuals working at the airport, the team at the airport, under the police, the CQA. So varying agencies are on the list. We've had actually requests from other entities to be considered as part of the next group. And so the committee will look at the request and also the function. And that's really key is, are you a frontline essential worker that we will need to provide the vaccine opportunity to, or the offer of being vaccinated? So definitely the police department is on the list. We actually discussed it a bit this past Monday. But at the end of the meeting, the committee decided that we will just at this point go with our 75 years and older population, our elderly, and that we would further discuss the essential critical workers at the next meeting. But definitely they are on the list. We have them. Their tier 1 is at 280. And I did speak with the chief, and seeing of that number are 280 officers, or is it 280 officers all responding to COVID-19? So he and I are in discussion on that. But the committee is, I imagine, going to meet on Monday, and we'll hopefully have direction in terms of the next prioritization of our Guam law enforcement and other entities that are on the list.
You said Port Authority also?
Port Authority is also on the, every government agency was asked to submit their tiers, tier 1, 2, and 3. Tier 1 being if you needed to just identify your critical workers to be vaccinated, who would those be? And so it really wasn't a list of names, it was more of a number. So we would plan for how many vaccines we have and the numbers of individuals under tier 1, 2, and 3. And so people in the front line, critical to the operations, health, welfare, and safety of our island would be the ones that we would ask the managers, executive directors, agency directors, private sector to identify those individuals as tier 1. And that's what the committee just has to meet on Monday. I'm hoping that we can have a meeting on Monday, and we'll be sending that request out later today, and so that we can also come to a planned approach in terms of what the next group or who the next groups are to be vaccinated as the vaccines become available.
And so you said the next vaccination clinic is scheduled for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Is that what you said?
Correct.
Of next weekend?
That is correct. And that's this coming week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and it's for our population of 75 years of age and older. And that's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's at Okadu High School, and it's pre-registered with the mayor's offices from the varying villages. So we'll be getting the list, and one of the things we'll be asking our elderly, of course, is for just ID to verify their age at 75 and older. They will also be able to be assisted by a caregiver or a family member or a friend if they should need assistance. And we'll also have staff on site as well.
What about your staff? Has your staff all been vaccinated?
No, actually, no. Not all of public health has been vaccinated. The focus has been on our healthcare provider in public health, our nurses, our physicians, and also our team working at the isolation facility, the quarantine facility, as well as those working at the dispensing pods, the pods where we're actually administering the vaccines, and the test sites. So those that are the front line, so our secretaries, our payroll clerks, and folks that are not at the front line have not been vaccinated, unless if they're in that position and they're out there assisting and have been detailed and assigned to assist with the vaccination site or the testing site. So they've been detailed. You might see an admin assistant or an admin person position vaccinated, but only because they've been assigned away from their duties as a payroll person or an admin assistant over to assist with the vaccination sites or the test sites, or have been assigned to assist with the operations of quarantine or isolation facilities. And so those folks, of course, they would be offered the vaccine at this time.
And since you mentioned quarantine, are you guys looking at any changes to the quarantine protocols?
At this time, we're staying with the 14-day approach, but we are doing the test on day 6. We can do the test on site as well at this point. So what's happening right now, as recent as this week, is if you test on site at the quarantine facility, and of course, hoping it's a negative, then you could be transferred to home quarantine from that day on. But at this point, we're still, the latest I saw was December 8th, in which CDC still endorses a 14-day quarantine period. And so we're staying at this point with that approach, but we are discussing other approaches. including travel protocol that would then affect the quarantine options or protocol. So there is an ongoing discussion about how and what we could do to continue to interrupt any transmission, to monitor and quarantine, but how would we do that in the coming weeks, coming months? So there is conversation on that at this time.
What about mass testing, mass community testing? Are we, is public health planning any other opportunities for people to get tested?
Actually, yes, Sabrina, the team right now is just this past Monday, I believe.
Yeah, Monday.
Was it Monday that we did? Monday, right? We did testing. We did mass testing. We had 2 sites, Micronesia Mall and Teesman, each at 125. Sorry, total community tested that day was 250. So we're continuing with scheduling for the mass testing. We're continuing with of course, the administration of the vaccine at our vaccine clinics and with our partners, GRMC and GMHA at this time. And then we're also continuing the testing at the Northern Region Community Health Center. And so we've got all this going on. But testing and the vaccination are happening on different days because we have some of the same team members that are assisting with the testing for mass testing, as well as those that are doing the pods for the vaccine administration. So we have some of the same team members. And so we're also looking at once we get a good feel and community response in terms of wanting to be vaccinated, we're also exploring the possibility that we would divide the team into 2 groups. One team is focused on just the vaccination activity and one on the Binexus testing activity or community testing. So we're looking at that. And we'll also be looking to explore with other partners in terms of how perhaps they can assist us with both activities.
Well, are you guys also looking at possible rapid testing over at the airport?
You know, that's one of the other, and I noted earlier about like how we're looking at the protocols of arrivals. And so, yes, we're looking at testing at the airport. That's at one point of discussion. Yesterday, we met with Mary Rhodes, who is with the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association. And we're also speaking with her about testing also in terms of a reopening with the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association in a very moderate pace. So she is very encouraged yesterday, and so it was our first in-person meeting with her. And we'll be having standing meetings with her to plan more. We'll have more discussions on how we would partner with them from the public health side in terms of them wanting to and needing to, in our community, really needing that reopening eventually. So we're partnering with Guam Hotel at this time. And it was a good meeting with Mary yesterday and my team, and we're very encouraged. And she's got some plans that she's going to be sharing with us. She's developed a safety officer concept with an education component, which is very critical. And any time we're wanting, yes, we've got the mass testing, we've got the vaccines here, but we need to continue the education component. We need to continue our mitigation measures, wearing the mask, washing our hands, maintaining our distance. And of course, as many have added on, the willpower. And we've done a great job with the numbers and where we're at right now. We've got to keep this steady pace and just keep it until we get more vaccines on Guam and we're able to immunize more and more of our members and our residents and our family here in Guam.
Right. And I think that's also important to like you said, the message, although we, the vaccine is here, we still need to practice all of the W's and still, go and get tested, participate in the mass testing every time they're offered, because we're not truly out of the woods.
Yeah, you're correct. You're very much correct. You're right. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, and I want to thank you all because although, we have many Zoom calls, one of which is with you this morning, which is fine. But yeah, we can pretty much, Zoom has been a blessing, but it has also kept us extremely busy. We are Zooming throughout the day. And it's just, it's amazing. It's like you have like 4 Zooms, one right after another. But you know what? It's important right now that we maintain as many of those Zoom, as many are related to, of course, the planning and response of COVID-19.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we lost.
Oh, there, we got him.
We got Annette.
Oh no,
Annette's on the phone.
Oh, I didn't know Annette was on the phone. Annette, are you part of the vaccination? You join?
I have yet to receive it.
Not yet. Okay.
But
well,
I will.
Yeah. Well, this has pretty much been, your show, because immunizations is your deal, So how are things going on your side?
It's been good. We've had a lot of support, again, from our director and our internal leadership, as well as from the administration. We do have a lot of partners wanting to assist with vaccination, like Guam Pharmacy Association, University of Guam. They have already offered their assistance, so we will be definitely bringing them in to help augment so that we can provide more immunizations. Our private sector partners have really stepped us as well. We have more who are wanting to enroll in the program so that they can provide it to their patients when we have more doses available. And GMH and GRMC too have really stepped up, and daily they've been immunizing their staff, and so we appreciate that. And we've been getting a lot of phone calls as well, and interested in getting it. And so again, we do ask for people's patience as we slowly pull up the priority groups first and expand out to who we can immunize. And so, we do thank everyone for their patience, their interest in the vaccine, and again, continuing, as my director mentioned, the 3 W's, because again, it's a combination of these tools that can help us keep, flattening the curve and help our government ease some restrictions, and see that light at the end of the tunnel, and so again, we have more work to do, but again, we will continue to pull up the different priority groups, immunize as many as we can so that we can build up that immunity across our residents here on Guam.
Mm-hmm. There's been several reports, I'm sure you guys are aware of this new variant new strain of COVID. How concerned should we be?
Well, actually, it's too early for us to say. I do know I was reading up on the manufacturers for Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are already testing their vaccines against this strain because there is discussion that it may still be effective against this variant or mutated strain, because if it's just a slight mutation, then it should still be effective. So we want to wait for the science and the research and the accurate data just to see whether we can continue on using what vaccines are already approved, or is there a need to update it? And that would be something similar to the annual flu vaccine. That's why every year we would have to get it, because the flu virus does change a little bit, mutate a little bit over the time, and so every year we get an updated version of the vaccine just to see what's circulating around the world. And so that's what with science and the vaccine manufacturers, they use that data to develop the new annual flu vaccine. So that would be similar, where we continue to monitor, conduct surveillance throughout our region, nation, and around the world. And again, it's a global effort in regards to developing a vaccine for a virus that has global implications, like the flu and the coronavirus, COVID-19.
As you guys prepare for the next vaccination clinic for our elderly population next week, Monday, anything that they should know or their families should know as they make their way there?
Oh, yes, that's a very good question. Thank you, Sabrina. We definitely ask them to hydrate. If they have to have any medication, to definitely eat. We will assist them so that it's a smooth and as process and as quick as possible to get you in and out to be vaccinated. We are working to rearrange our flow to accommodate should anyone need a wheelchair. We are also working to have additional wheelchairs on site to assist them, for the distance between the stations. We do ask if you have someone accompanying them to assist them if they need translation, or to ask certain questions that this individual can assist them. And again, it would be the same guidance that we provided for our healthcare personnel. If anybody is sick, has a fever, any symptoms, please don't come until it's resolved, because we will turn individuals away who have symptoms or fever, because again, we do not want any exposure, or with any vaccine, be it COVID or the flu or any other adult immunization, there is a chance of a slight fever if when you receive a vaccine. So if you're already sick, we don't want to exacerbate that with a vaccination. Again, we don't want our staff to be exposed to anyone who has symptoms. If you've had another vaccine within the last 14 days, again, we continue to push out for annual vaccine. My uncle, they recommended to get the pneumonia vaccine. If you've had a vaccine within the last 14 days, you should not come to get the COVID yet. You need to wait until after 14 days from your last vaccination, because again, we want to space these vaccines out. COVID vaccination was not, as we say, co-administered with other vaccines during the trials. So again, we want to be as safe as possible to anyone receiving the vaccine. And then, if there's any concerns, if you have any questions or doubts, speak to your primary doctor. They know your medical history better, and get guidance from them that should you get it based on your medical conditions or any allergies. We will have doctors on site to further guide as well whether you should get it or not. But having that information ahead of time, your doctor could say, no, you shouldn't get it due to this condition or that medicine. So, you don't need to worry about having to get into that line and coming when you would be unable to receive it next Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
I got a question, and sorry, it's Vic here. I have a question. I love that you mentioned the fact that I guess that we'll have doctors on site to help, kind of educate people before they take the vaccine. But how about before? How about for those who don't have doctors? We talked when we started talking about the vaccines. I know Andy, and Sabrina and Jason and Joe Sir here was saying, we talked with our doctors. But how about for those who don't have doctors?
So for any individual that comes in for vaccination, we do have a consent form that needs to be filled out, and there's also screening questionnaires. And for Guam, we have more screening questions that we ask each individual than is recommended from CDC. So we're taking those extra precautions by adding in more screening questions in regards to people's health or conditions, allergies, and then if there's any questions or if they have any yes in regards to medication or allergies, we will definitely have them go to the station where our physicians are at to do further evaluation, and they will talk to the individual and determine whether yes or no they should get the vaccine. So even if they don't have a doctor, yes, they can come to our outreaches. We have a doctor available on site to help guide each individual with whatever medical concerns or questions they have.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Art. Any final message before we let you guys go?
Sure, Sabrina and team there, if I could just take this opportunity, again, thank you for having us. If I could just also say to the team and our partners from Public Health and Social Services, I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, blessed, come and just wish them all the best. I want to thank them for the continued dedication and commitment to assist in the response to COVID-19. And really, this is not an I approach, it is a we approach, and we as a team are making a difference. And I really want to thank them, everyone that's partnered with us, both local and federal. And as I said at one of the meetings of the pod, even our media for helping us get the word out, getting information out, and giving us opportunities at times to even clarify misinformation that's been sent out. So really, Sabrina, and to your team there, thank you so much for having us this morning, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And you guys stay safe. Thank you for your dedication as well and everything that you guys are doing. We are going to stay in the Zoom room where we have Crystal Pacos and Augustine. She is the communications director for Adeloop. Good morning, Crystal. Merry Christmas.
Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
We brought you on to kind of break down this new executive order that came down late yesterday afternoon from the governor. So effective what? Top of the hour?
The first, yes. So the first thing that Executive Order 2020-45 does, aside from maintaining that pandemic condition of readiness 1, aside from maintaining that safer at home advisory, it does two things. Effective 8 a.m. today in the next half hour, that's Christmas Eve, today's Christmas Eve, social gatherings can now have now been increased to 15 individuals. So it went from 10 to 15. So starting at 8 a.m. today, you can have a gathering of no more than 15 individuals, and that means that they don't have to be from the same household. So the second thing that Executive Order 2020-45 does is effective the day after Christmas, that's December 26, 2020, is it allows for limited indoor dining. And when I say limited indoor dining, I'm talking about 25% capacity of indoor dining. And that also means that there can be no more than 6 individuals per table, that these tables have to be separated 6 feet apart. So we enjoyed this luxury a little bit during the summer, I believe, when we had the indoor dining. So we're bringing that back slowly, 25% occupancy, and then that also means that doesn't include the outdoor dining that most restaurants are now taking advantage of. It's really great to see our F&B industry really evolve with the times, and I'm seeing some pop-up like tents outside, and it's great to see people enjoying outdoor dining. And that's the new normal. Even after COVID, we're probably going to be more inclined to eat outdoors. And so that is what EO 2020-45 does. Again, today, effective at 8 a.m., it increases that social gathering limit to 15 people. And the day after Christmas, which is December 26th, it allows for limited indoor dining.
Bars, right?
Crystal, for that limited indoor dining, the 25%, I believe it was one of the original executive officers when we did go back to that 25%, that included the staff. Is that still in effect?
You know, I had to take a closer read at the guidance. I'm actually pulling it up right now. I want to defer to public health on that. I'll call Rosanna right after this and I'll get back to you, but I believe it does. I believe it does. The first time around.
Okay, because people are wondering, is that, my staff doesn't count, and then 25% of our customer capacity, just to be clear, because, some smaller businesses, 25%, that's, a lot of their staff.
Right. That is very true. But again, we're still pushing for outdoor dining at this time. Also, I wanted to clarify, I heard this on the radio yesterday. People were asking about, square footage. If I have a bigger house, can I have more people? No, the social gathering limit remains at 15. And so because you have a big house does not mean you can have more people. So again, 15.
So I can't do outdoor dining at my house and then have an inside dining of 25%? Is that what you're saying?
No,
not
15.
Not at home.
Oh.
And I want to make sure that we emphasize that, the mitigation measures must remain in place. If you're going to go eat out, you should be signing in at the door. You should be sanitizing and taking your temperature. Again, any mitigation measures we can enforce, we will. That's 6 feet between tables. We're seeing, chairs being covered up with the plastics. We're seeing plexiglass go up. We also need you to, when you speak with your server, please wear your mask. Protect them. And so we ask that when you're not eating, you're wearing your mask, and you're being considerate of the people next to you, most especially your server, who's also just trying to make a living. So 25%, I know this is a bit conservative. We want to take it slow and steady, as we are seeing that the rest of the world is shutting down again, and we're slowly opening up. And so we're cautious as we proceed, especially as we continue to monitor what's happening across the nation. And that if we were to spike again, knock on wood, that we would be it would be more difficult to get those resources that we had so readily available, that first and second wave.
Mm-hmm. What about bars? They're not included in this executive order?
As of today, no. Bars are still not included. I did see some comments online trying to interpret food and dining,
food and drinking.
Food and drinking as a bar, and I'm like, no, that's the same definition we've been using all this time. Again, food, that definition is only to describe restaurants or gastropubs, restaurants that serve alcohol. So bars at this time, no, are not allowed to open. We want to revisit all of the businesses and services that haven't been able to open up after the holiday season. Let's monitor closely what happens. I would hate to go into a strong vaccination program and then we'd be dealing with a spike in cases as well. So our CAR score, our COVID area risk score, maintains steady, is steady still at 1.5. That's great news. We have over 1,000, almost 2,000 people vaccinated. So we're well on our way towards normalcy or some sense of normalcy, but again, we have to keep a conservative approach when it comes to reopening.
Mm-hmm. All right, Crystal, anything else? Any press conferences or anything on the horizon?
I don't suspect anything unless things drastically change very suddenly, and we know that's very possible. So I won't rule that out just now. But I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. Please be safe. Just because you can gather now up to 15 people doesn't mean you have to. I also recommend that people in their family, they police one another. Hey, you're not wearing your mask, or hey, you didn't sanitize, or hey, let's space out a little bit. So let's be considerate of one another, especially we want to show love this Christmas, but you don't want to give COVID. So as I said before, share love, not COVID. Please be safe. We can't emphasize that enough. We'll know in 2 weeks if you didn't follow the guidance, because we'll see a spike, and that's exactly what we don't want. So please be safe. Again, today, at 8 o'clock, you can have social gatherings of up to 15 people, no more than 15 people. And the day after Christmas, indoor dining is also allowed, no more than 25% occupancy load of that indoor establishment.
I had one follow-up question. Thanks, Joseph, for reminding me. I wanted to ask you about this. There's several, not several, but the hotels that are being used as quarantine facilities. Some of them also have restaurants. Are they also allowed to open?
I haven't been asked this question yet. Actually, I wonder that too, because Dusit is one of our facilities, and I'm not tracking that Aqua or Alfredo's was open, or Soy. So I'd have to get back to you on that. I'm tracking no at this time, but Mr. Elmore might correct me. So let me get back to you. I'll call right after this.
Yeah, I thought that was how that was going to be done. By the way, are you part of the vaccination? I see you have a button on.
No, I didn't get mine yet. I will be when it's my turn. I will definitely be first in line when it's my turn. That is not my turn. Again, I'm trying to lobby for our members of the media to get vaccinated as well, so you can be part of our experience and telling the story of why people need to get vaccinated. And the goal is 70+% of the adult population, so that we can achieve herd immunity and that we can move forward with some sense of normalcy and in confidence that there will be fewer hospitalizations, fewer deaths, fewer severe cases of COVID-19. But again, I can't emphasize enough, still you got to wear your mask, you got to watch your distance, you got to wash your hands. I'm preaching to the choir though. Thanks so much, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Crystal, to you and Rob.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Take
Christmas.
care. Take care.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
All right, so now we're going to go actually to her boss. She is part of Bree's Baking Club. So excited about this. Been holding out on showing this. We're saving the best for last.
Everybody's been asking about this too.
Yeah.
They're like, when's the Gov coming on?
Yeah. So let's go ahead and go to Governor Lulian Guerrero.
Half a day. Welcome to my home and my kitchen. I am here to share with you a traditional Christmas cookie that I bake every year. It's a recipe from my mother-in-law, and it's called the English Toffee Cookies. It's actually very easy to make, and so for those bakers that are busy, this is a perfect recipe for Christmas cookies. So you have the ingredients here. There is the 2 cups of flour, an egg yolk, 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks, a teaspoon of vanilla, and brown sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar, and then baker's semi-chocolate, along with walnuts, and this comes at the end. First, we'll mix all the ingredients. So I will put the 1 cup of, this is half a cup, one stick of butter is half a cup. So you take 2 of that, you put it in your mixing bowl. Then you take your 1 egg yolk, good to mix the egg yolk and the butter and the sugar first, and then put your dry ingredients in. So you take the brown sugar, mix it in, and you mix it till it's creamy. Usually maybe about 30 seconds. Okay, and then you put your flour in and your teaspoon of vanilla. And when you mix it with your mixer, make sure you start off really slow so the flour doesn't, jump out at you. It normally does. Okay, and then you put 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Perfect. See how it jumps out at you? You have to really make sure that you start off very slowly with your mixture. And what this does is it will mix into a bowl, into a dough, and then I will put it in this pan and spread it out and then cook it for 20 minutes at 325 degrees. People really like it, and like I said, it's very easy to make. So it comes out like this. And what you do is you just put it on the pan, and then you have to use your hands. That's the ingredients. That's the secret. So when you put it in the oven, it'll be for 20 minutes. All right. This is how it looks. You just put it in the oven and you time it for 20 minutes. Take a whole box of this German sweet chocolate, microwave it for 30 seconds, and if it hasn't melted, microwave it again for another 30 seconds until it's totally melted, because your chocolate is what's going to be like the frosting of the cookie. Kind of spread it around, make sure that you cover everything, and then just spread it around. Okay, there it is, my English toffee. And then just let it cool off for a little bit, and then you can cut it into small squares. Thank you, and enjoy the holidays, and Merry Christmas.
Catch the holiday soundtrack starting December 1st through January 5th. You'll be treated to an all-day festive playlist only on Breeze 93.9 FM. Also streaming on KUAM.com and the KUAM mobile app. Let's spread joy and holiday cheer this season. Holiday soundtrack brought to you by Domino's. Visit Domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the CAR score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the CAR score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this.
Hafa, I'm Peter Santos.
And I'm Tyler Matinani.
Celebrate the holidays with KUAM.
Join us on Christmas Eve for KUAM's Christmas Wish with the Guam Department of Education's Gifted and Talented Education Program.
Don't miss the show scheduled for 6:30 p.m. on December 24th on KUAM TV 8 and streaming live on Facebook.
Then on Christmas night, we continue our celebration with a virtual dance experience in partnership with the Guam Allied Dance Force.
We're partnering to raise money for the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. That's 6:30 p.m. on Christmas evening only on KUAM TV 8.
It's going to be a great celebration of Christmas with music and dance, and we hope to see you there.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
It takes all of us to protect Guam. Join the Guam Visitors Bureau in our social media campaign series aimed to protect our island and each other in this COVID-19 era. Participate in the Protect Guam movement by wearing your mask, showcasing Guam's heroes, staying active, and downloading the Guam COVID Alert app. Post and share your content with us. Use the hashtag ProtectGuam, and you could win $100. It's that simple. Check out visitguam.com for details. Let's reclaim our lives, our economy, and our tourism industry.
You're watching The Link with Chris and Sabrina on TV 11, but don't leave yet because we're coming up next on CBS This Morning.
Oh, man. 10 minutes away from closing out the show. We're closing out early today. It's Christmas Eve. We're ready. We're back with the last bit of the show here with myself, Victoria, Sabrina Salas, Matt Tanani, Jason Salas. In the Zoom room, we have Andy Wheeler, and then a whole surprise of who we'll tell you later on. But we're back here with the show. Jace, take it away.
All right, guys, and we have been working on something for a very long time. You know, this year has been unbelievably...
That's a long time, bro.
This year has been unbelievably trying for us and everything. So we wanted to have a little fun, and we wanted to send you guys into Christmas the right way. So we've been working on a Christmas carol of our own. We're journalists, and there are two members of our team who are professional musicians, so we defer to their expertise. But before we get to tonight's song, to this morning's song, we want to show you a little sneak peek of our test run, and spoiler alert, it did not go well. So here's that clip.
Jingle bell part.
Jingle bell part.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Hey.
Jesus.
Now we know how crazy it is and how hard it is for like big groups like in Pago to put something like this together.
Okay, I just want to say, we're all about family here. We're all about the holiday spirit. But I was in tune. I was in pitch. Adriana, not so much. I just want to say, I love you, Adriana.
Wow.
We've got our news team here in the Zoom room.
Yeah. Okay. Tyler's coming to us from a virtual jungle. It looks like, or the ranch. Peter Santos, who is going to lead us off mercifully. He is in the Simpsons house, I believe, or
Rick and Morty.
Rick. Okay. Oh, duh.
Get it right, Jason.
Okay. Lacey Martinez, our producer extraordinaire and a friend of hers.
Aww.
And Lacey's wearing a Christmas onesie. Where's the hood, Lacey?
Somewhere.
Yay!
Woohoo!
All right.
The onesie. Okay. And not to be outdone, Andy is of course in the Zoom room with another member of the Animal Kingdom. So.
It's Jazz.
Joan is back, and if I know Joan, and I certainly do, she's already got like tonight's show like pretty much like all set up and everything like that. So Joan's in the newsroom.
This is the earliest I've been into work.
Okay, and then Nestor is actually joining us. Nestor is visiting family and taking care of it. So he is in the Philippines, and he has decked out his halls. What setup you got there, Nest?
I just brought out some gifts as background.
Very nice.
Are they empty?
It's a white wall, so we never want to shoot against the pure white wall, right?
Always the professional.
Journalism 101, so gotta put a backdrop.
Okay, and then Adriana is coming to us. Adriana, you're still at home too, right?
Unmute.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, there she is. Okay, so bonus
All right,
points.
this is going well. Great, we're ready.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh man.
We also got Santa.
Okay, we also have a cameo, everybody. Look who came into the Link studio.
Thank you.
Santa Claus.
So yeah, we are taking off early.
Wait,
this morning.
because everybody in the Zoom room, they're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Okay, guys, we have to turn this. Santa Claus is there.
There, we got Santa in the building.
Yeah, Santa Claus will be making his delivery of toys to all the girls and boys throughout the world, and Santa also stayed up all night editing tonight's Christmas Eve special. So you guys know who Santa is.
Thanks, Santa.
And he's following protocol. He's got a mask on too.
Right.
Santa's belly's jiggling like a bowl full of jelly, and his eyes are quite bloodshot after staring at Edibe all night.
You're being naughty.
Oh, I'm being naughty? Okay. All right. So we have selected, because obviously Jingle Bells was epic fail. So we have decided as a group that we are going to try Walking in a Winter Wonderland.
Yeah.
Okay, if you guys...
Emphasis on try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attempt.
We got this.
Trial run.
Struggle.
Okay.
Yeah, Jason, you shouldn't have said we've been working on this for a very long time because it's not going to look like it at all.
Oh, okay.
Also,
we've also never even tried doing this together.
Yeah.
Yeah, was there a rehearsal I was not invited to or something?
You guys got the Zoom invite. Okay, well, Peter and Ty are our two professional musicians. They've both done gigs. They've both done musical theater. And mercifully, so Peter's gonna start us off. Ty's bringing up the rear, and those of us, we're gonna fill out, like the midsection and everything like that. So, everybody's got the lyrics, right?
Everybody's got their part.
If you guys don't have the lyrics, we are all so screwed.
All right.
All right, so here we go. Oh, and by the way, guys, no pressure, but we got several KUAM alumni that are now WhatsApping me, and they're saying, "Oh, we're watching. We can't wait to see how this goes."
Uh-oh.
Here we go. I can't wait either.
They're going on the KYM blooper tape from years ago.
Oh, God.
All right.
All right, here we would, Mr. Santos, if you would, please.
Okay, let's wake up a little bit. All righty. Okay. Hey, bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. Walking in the winter wonderland.
Gone away is the bluebird. Here to stay is the new bird.
He sings a love song as we go along.
Walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman, then pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, "Are you married?" We'll say, "No, man."
But you can do the job when you're in town.
Later on, we'll conspire
as we dream by the fire.
Face unafraid, the plans that we've made. Walking in a winter wonderland.
Yeah!
We did it!
Thanks, everybody.
Good job. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Guys, Spotify is blowing up right now.
We banking. We're making that money.
How we do, Santa?
Awesome.
All right.
Santa's saying we did good. All right.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks to all our listeners, people watching us on Facebook, and also on KUAM TV. Don't forget, we got our Christmas special tonight, 6:30 p.m. with Kate, and then tomorrow again, 6:30 with the Allied Dance Force. But now to some professional, real deal singers. We've got Holiday Holiday Cheer with Joe Guam. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Woo!
Half-a-Day Holiday Cheer is brought to you by Guam Windward Memorial.
Frosty the snowman was a jolly, happy soul with a corncob pipe and a button nose and two eyes made out of coal. Frosty the snowman is a fairy tale, they say. He was made of snow, but the children know how he came to life one day. There must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found. But when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around. Frosty the snowman was alive as he could be, and the children say he could laugh and play just the same as you and me. Frosty the snowman knew the sun was hot that day, so he said, let's run, we'll have some fun now before I melt away. Down to the village with a broomstick in his hand running here and there all around the square, singing catch me if you can. Led them down the streets of town, right to the traffic cop. And he only paused a moment when he heard them holler stop. Frosty the snowman had to hurry on his way, but he waved goodbye singing, don't you cry, I'll be back again someday. Of town, right to the traffic cop. And he only paused a moment when he heard them holler stop. Frosty the snowman had to hurry on his way, but he waved goodbye singing, don't you cry, I'll be back again someday.